Hello, brothers and sisters of light and dark. Welcome to my page. My page about common sense. I try to keep it down on the nitty-gritty under 10 minutes. If it goes over 10 minutes, it's something very, very, very important and not important to liberals, libertarians, people who believe in God, people like to smoke, people like to drink, people like ayahuasca, people like DMT. Listeners' discretion is advised. Listeners' discretion is advised. I warned you, motherfucker, didn't I? Alright, I just got up. That's why my eyes look kind of chinky like that. Okay. I'm not high or anything. I don't use drugs. My drugs is holistic. That means I could just drink something and I feel high automatically. My eyes be dilated and everything, because that's the real shit. It don't fuck up your organs. It actually improves your organs, and then you start getting goosebumps and shit. Alright. If you got any comments, questions, insults, or roast, you put it down below, motherfuckers, okay? Well, I gotta be a motherfucker because most of you are motherfuckers. Most of you are bitches, okay? Y'all don't even know what those things really mean. But of course, I'm not here to insult you. I don't like sensitive people either. So if you're just not funny, stick in the mud, you can't learn nothing from me. So be gone. Now, if you want to know anything about me, my credentials, check out my credentials down below. It's more than most guys out there. I'm being arrogant, yeah. Being boastful too. So check out my credentials down there. Other than that, if you want the real McCoy type shit, you know how to contact me just by reading the credentials down below. There's a lot of shit down there, yeah. I know, right? But let's get on with the subject. The subject for today will be anecdotal versus scientific method. Now, this is how you can determine how many people are very liberal. And what I mean by liberal is not in the good sense. I'm talking about in an irrational sense. When they say the far leftist, it's usually they're far on the right, degenerate type of folks, okay? People who just believe in anything and everything just because of what the media says. That's it. Okay, they're the ones who are the EDBs and the NPCs. EDBs are basically emotional douchebags. And also NPCs is non-playable characters. People don't have critical thinking skills, okay? It is very, very, very fucking important that to do your own research rather than just hear anything through the media, because the media can be used as a weapon. Did you know that? And I teach people to do things on their own accord rather than just listen to some rumors or anything like that. So if somebody says something funny about someone or they'll defame the character, make sure you get all the facts first. If you hear a story about a female doing this or a male doing this, please be sure that, hey, just make sure you get all the facts first. Because if you don't know that person, okay, you're kind of wasting your time. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You can't say someone is guilty when you haven't even been there, okay? You can't even say if Jesus exists, okay? You can't even say if God exists if you haven't actually met these individuals in person. But you imagine how many people who believe in that shit, okay? Because of the media or some fucking book, okay? All right? I tell people all of the time, I've talked to hundreds of women in my past, and I therapy. I do more than what Kevin Samuels do. But of course, people are mediaized. They're mediaized, okay, and they'll start listening to people who are just on the internet, and next thing you know, bam, boom, bam. That's how they, as I said, they got you. They got you. Now, please understand, the most people with the most wisdom are usually not going to be very popular on the internet. Please understand that. People who have true wisdom will not be popular. They'll either be aloof or funny, or they'll probably professionalize their fucking videos to gravitate towards a lot of attention. I try to keep it down and in the nitty-gritty under 10 minutes, and I hope you learned something here. When I have arguments with people, I usually ask them questions. I use the Socratic oath or the Socratic questioning technique, so I could actually understand and get an idea of where they're getting their nonsense from. Okay, but I do mine from anecdotal. Anecdotal means personal experiences. I do personal experiences. I do not care about what the media says, yada, 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 because basically, just because a whole bunch of people said something, that don't mean it's true. All right? So it's very important to start doing your own research. And as I said before, on my YouTube channel, I teach common sense. I try to talk about multitudes of different types of topics, not just one, because of my field and departments down below. Other than that, I am a private person, so I do things privately because a lot of people are just biased. They're very biased and very emotional. But what else is there to say about being anecdotal rather than just being scientific method? Please understand that even in the scientific method community, there's always going to be a 4 to 5% marginal human error. Everyone makes mistakes. When you have all of the geniuses in the world, there will always be one that thinks a little bit differently from the other. So you got to take it with a grain of salt, or with the not without a grain of salt, that people make mistakes. All right, there's a marginal error somewhere, and you can't rely on everyone's perspective unless it's actually, you did the research yourself. Okay, because you may see something, someone else may see something of your research, but they have to convince you that they see it too. So the only way to convince people is to basically tell them to do it themselves. All right? This is why I win most of my debates when I talk to people. I try to keep it simple, and I don't even ask any more further questions. Like, for example, if you really want to know someone who is very religious or something like that, just ask them, do you believe in God? Now, then you have to break that question down. Break the question down. I said, what do you mean? Or I said, what God do you believe in? I believe that there's a God out there, okay? Can you prove it to me that there's a God? And okay, most of the time they said no, they can't. But they'll say, oh, I believe strongly. But that belief is not evidence. They don't know the difference between the evidence or even a faith belief system. I teach people all of the time that faith is not going to save you, because there's thousands and millions of babies that are killed every day. So how do you believe in a God when abortions occur? How do you believe in God when there's war? Okay, no. There is no God here in this dimension, time, and space. It's either be eaten or eat. We are all parasites. Everything in this world is a form of a parasite because of this time, dimension, and space. All right? That's just common sense. Everything is a theory, too, as a matter of fact. You don't know if that sun is there. You don't know if that moon is there. What's more important is that you know thyself. And by knowing thyself, you become self-aware to eliminate fear. Eliminate this avatar that we have, because it's all superficial. It's just temporary. We're living in like a dream state, all right? There's no other question about it, because when you go to sleep, you have a dream within a dream. Think about that. You can't control that dream because you're not trained ever since I was a child, okay? You don't know if the aliens are controlling our soul or not. You don't know if lizard beings ever control, unless you actually experience those things yourself. Sometimes it is better to keep your mouth shut if you have special abilities than to basically talk about them all the time, because that will bring trouble to you. Sometimes it's better to actually stop being ambitious because of the fact that it will bring trouble to you. It's best to have low overhead, live free, or die trying. But other people would like to work hard. They work hard because they need a form of validation. Validation is something to where, oh, I'm bored, okay? So I'm looking for love. Or they're desperate for some sort of attachment to this world. Having an attachment to this world is not a cool thing, but it's good to be entertained. It's good to experiment. It's good to be, acknowledgeable about a lot of things. Every little tiny thing counts. But I'm going off the subject now here. So the moral of what this video is about is basically try to do your research anecdotal-wise. Tell people what you experience and keep your mouth shut about other people's perspectives, because it's not subjective. It is you who have experienced life in your particular fashion. Other than that, that's all I really got to say, guys. Okay, I try to stay my best. I try my best to stay away from as many people as possible. I am paranoid. I do not have the time to be being around people who may try to hurt you. But if they do, I usually win in any way. I ain't worried about it. Okay. Other than that, I hope you learned something from this video. Peace.